Yes, guys, welcome back to Pro14 Weekly. This is the show where we round up the action from the weekend of Pro14 Rugby. And although, of course, international rugby took centre stage, Pro14 provided many games that were entertaining to watch. We're going to go through each game and quickly summarise what happened and the talking points from that game. So if you're new here, subscribe and leave a like on the video and comment your thoughts on your team's performance this weekend. We're going to start on Friday night at the RDS Arena as Leinster absolutely smashed Zebre 63 points to 8, getting 9 tries in the process. It was such a dominant display. A debutant in Dan Sheehan, he got 2 tries on his debut, and a fantastic day for Dan Levy, who returned to action after 19 months out through injury. The bottom line is that Leinster are just simply too good. Simply too good. And even with so many players away on international duty, they smashed Zebre. Absolutely smashed Zebre. And it's going to be a tough season for Zebre. For Leinster, though, it just shows the depth that they've got and the quality that they've got over the pitch. So Leinster, 63.8, continue their perfect start to the season. Leinster fans, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Can you go unbeaten again? Can you see anyone challenging you? And Zebre fans, where's your first win realistically going to come from? Next up was the game in Italy, Benetton against Scarlets, and Scarlets got their first win of the season. But let me tell you something, this game was piss poor. It was such a poor game. But at the end of the day, it's about the results, and Scarlets have finally got their first win of the season. Paul Asquith with the only try of the game. Scarlets were without 10 players for this one, but there was a return to action for this man, Liam Williams, who was back on the pitch for Scarlets. They were, of course, without the likes of Ken Owens and Josh McLeod due to injury, and Sam Lucy was also out with a 4-match ban for a red card in a previous game. As I said, Scarlets' first win of the season. Benetton still looking for their first one, but they've shown encouraging signs along the way. We spoke about it last week, putting up a good fight against the likes of Leinster and the likes of Ulster, probably 2 of the strongest teams in the competition, and also getting pretty close to Scarlets, although the game was nothing special, to be sure. But if Scarlets get their win, Benetton showing encouraging signs. I wouldn't be too worried if I was a Benetton fan. It's going to be interesting to see how these teams can cope over this international window now, and hopefully we can see some young talent being blooded in over the course of the next month or so. Next up, then, we head down to the Liberty, where Ospreys got their second win of the season, second out of 3 games, actually, to get their win here against the Glasgow Warriors, 23 points to 15. And as an Ospreys fan, I'm very encouraged by what I saw on Saturday night, the only game on the Saturday. Ospreys finally seem to be getting their act together, and it was good to see the likes of Ruben Morgan getting on the score sheet, a young scrum half who's done very well at under 20 level for Wales, making that step up to the Ospreys and performing very, very well. Stephen Myler seems to have been a brilliant little bit of business. He kept the scoreboard ticking. For Glasgow, an encouraging performance once again from Hugh Jones, questioning maybe why he's not in that national team. Who knows what's going on there, but he had a really good game and getting on the score sheet as well. For both teams, I think both teams would have come into this expecting that they could both win, because I think both teams are quite equal in style of play. They like to attack, but also in their ability on the pitch. But it was Ospreys who came out on top, 23 points to 15. Both teams, your fans, let me know down there your thoughts on this one. Ulster continued their winning ways to the season with a big win against the Dragons, 40 points to 17, getting 5 tries in that first half alone, securing the bonus point before the 40-minute mark. But for Dragons in the second half, some encouraging signs with the likes of Jamie Roberts and Ashton Hewitt going over, who both have started the season pretty well, in my opinion. But the Dragons just left themselves way too much to do. Basic errors in that first half and no attacking intent. But from an Ulster's point of view, their line out and their driving more was a massive factor in this. They were so dominant in this area of the pitch. But for the Dragons, a lot of encouraging signs in the second half. But Dean Ryan will be furious with how his team really started that second half. But as I said, some encouraging signs, and I don't think they can be too worried about it. Dragons now will have to face Munster next week, and Ulster will play Cardiff Blues away. Both sets of fans, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on your aspirations for this season. Ulster, can you be up there competing? Can you get past Leinster and stop them from winning another title? Sunday's kickoff saw Edinburgh take on Conor, and Edinburgh still are looking for their first win of the season, losing this one 26 points to 37. Third defeat of the season, especially after last season, their success last season. It must be so frustrating as a Scottish and an Edinburgh fan to witness your team playing this well. Michael Wilhelms did get 2 tries for the host, but it wasn't enough as they slumped 2 defeats here. Andy Friend, head coach of Conor, gave 6 starts, new starts, to players this weekend. Edinburgh were really feeling the effect of international duty, missing 17 players. 17 players from their squad who'd be able to play this, but they were away on international duty. So a very, very frustrating night for Edinburgh. Really high scoring game and an entertaining game to watch. For Connacht, they've only lost 6 players on international duty, and so they can keep that core nucleus of their squad together, which means that through this time of international rugby, they can really look to pick teams off who maybe they wouldn't be able to. But because they're missing so many of the stars, they now can. And that's going to be key. And that's what's key to the Pro 14, who can deal with the international break the best. And that's why Leinster have such depth in their squad. They can just deal with it. And they have the ability and the quality in that squad to do that. Edinburgh will head over to Scarlets, looking to get their first win of the season next weekend, while Connacht are at home to Benetton, looking to add to their 2 wins so far in the competition. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, Edinburgh fans. How are you going to get this one right? And Connacht, what are you thinking so far? A bit of a mixed one to start. And then finally, and certainly not least, it was the 2 unbeaten teams in the competition who faced each other, Munster and Cardiff Blues at Thomond Park. And what a game this was. Munster running out winners here, 38 points to 27. And as I said, 2 unbeaten teams coming into this one. And it was an action-packed game, really. 8 tries in this one, a really exciting game to watch, one for the neutral, that's for sure. Some fantastic rugby with Ray Lilo providing some incredible moments and a couple of mistakes here and there. Damien Diolande also providing some lovely offloading work and getting over the gain line. And Munster now moves to the top of Conference B with this win. Munster over the past few years have just not quite been there. Are they going to get there this year? Are they going to be that competitive? The Blues were kind of provided a shock, really, just before kickoff, as Lloyd Williams was called up to the Wales national team, and so he was unavailable for this one. But for Cardiff Blues, do you know what? It's pretty encouraging this season so far. And as a Welsh fan, I want to see the Welsh regions do well. So it's good to see that they are providing some entertainment. So there we go. That is your review of the weekend's action. Don't forget to subscribe here on Brandon Smith Rugby. We have so much content coming your way this week. We have previews of all Six Nations games dropping on Friday evening on the channel across a 3-hour period. We also have Pro 14 Weekly, the preview for this weekend. Yes, there is even more rugby this weekend. So there'll be a preview for the Pro 14 teams. And on Saturday, there'll be a watch along from 2 o'clock all the way through the afternoon of all 3 games in the Six Nations as we round up this year's tournament, which feels so strange to say now, doesn't it? But there we go. That is all my thoughts. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like on the video, comment your thoughts on your team's performance. Where do you need to improve? What's encouraging? And I'll see you at the end of the week. Take it easy. Stay safe, guys. Peace.